Hello and welcome to day 1 of 12 days of Bookmas. This is my first time ever doing Bookmas on my channel and I'm kind of scared, but I am excited. I know that some people do Bookmas in different ways. I'm doing the first 12 days of December, but just because I feel like that is going to give me the best chance to be successful. And not every video is going to be Christmas related, but hopefully a lot of them will be Christmas related. I have my Christmas tree that's looking a little funny because the lights on her stopped working, so I had to put different string lights on there. So for my first Bookmas video, day 1, I'm going to be doing my November wrap up. Well, I thought I was, but apparently November was the quickest month ever, and I only finished 3 books this month, and 1 I finished yesterday. So I'm going to share those. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my plans for Bookmas, and I'm going to share what I'm currently reading. So let's just get into it. The first book I finished this month was The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. This is a sequel to The Way I Used to Be, and she never planned to release a sequel for it, but she got struck with inspiration, and boy am I glad she did, because I love The Way I Used to Be. It's a 5 stars for me. I would check trigger warnings. It is about a sexual assault, and the book ends in a good place. I mean, it's kind of like an ambiguous ending, but it ends like on a solid note. But I am so glad we got to continue her story in this, because while I was okay, or while I thought I was okay with that ending until I got this, once I got this, I was like, oh no, yeah, I needed this. This is perfect. So yeah, this was a very good reading month, because this was a 5 stars, and then my next one was also a 5 stars. My next was The Good Part by Sophie Cousins. This is the first book I've gotten from Aardvark Book Club. If you haven't heard of them, they have such cool hints. They come out with 5 hints the 5 days before the end of the month, and they're just so cool and fun to try to figure out. And also Aardvark Book Club uses, this is not sponsored, but I love them now. So Aardvark Book Club uses what's called soft touch lamination. So this is like smooth, satiny, silky to the touch, and also the actual book is like silky to the touch. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, I am obsessed with that. I know that some people with like texture issues might not like it, but it just feels so luxurious to me. But anyway, the book itself is about this woman who, she's in her 20s and she's like in her struggle era. She lives in this apartment with like a bunch of roommates. She is working her way up the ladder in her career, but she just got a promotion, but she's not being treated like it. She's still being treated like a runner. And she makes this wish on this old machine to get to the good part of her life, and she wakes up old with a husband, old with a husband and 2 kids, and she doesn't remember how she got there, but it's just such a fun like time travel, like Freaky Friday meets Big. Sophie Cousins actually like shouted out a bunch of like time travel related. Big, 13 Going on 30, The Family Man, and Freaky Friday. And I think that describes this perfectly. I gave this 5 stars as well. I was debating about it because I thought maybe I was just on a book high when I finished it, and I thought maybe I'd put it lower later, but every time I think about it, I just had such a good time reading this. It's so funny. If you've never read anything by Sophie Cousins, she has such like a witty humor. Everything in here is just done so well. It hits on some hard topics, so maybe check trigger warnings. It's nothing too like graphic, but it's so sweet. It is more so a literary fiction than it is a romance, but I would say it also has romance in it for sure, because she wakes up to the love of her life, her husband, who she has children with. It just has a really good lesson, and I love it so much. Now this next one is one that you're going to hear me talk about in, I think, tomorrow's Bookmas video, talking about Kristen's book recs, and I'm gonna say that I haven't read it, but I filmed that before I filmed this, and I didn't think I was gonna get to it, but I got to it and finished it. So Love Life Farms by B.K. Borison. This is a friends to lovers fake dating. This woman owns a Christmas tree farm, And she enters this contest, but she lies on the application and says that she owns this Christmas tree farm with her boyfriend because she wanted to make it just seem like whimsical and romantic, but she lied. So she has to recruit her best friend into a relationship with her. This is a really quick read. It didn't feel rushed to me, but it is very fast-paced. It's funny, it's sweet. The man in this book, where can I get one of these? I am just obsessed with him. So in tune to like her emotions and what she's thinking, and he's so thoughtful and he's very touchy with her, and it's just so cute. Small town, there's like a cute little cast of characters from the small town. It is spicier than I thought it was gonna be. There is like one chapter that is just like a whole chapter of spice, but it wasn't too bad. I still really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5, so still a really high rating. And unfortunately, that's all the books I've read this month, but I am going to update you on my currently reading. I started The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm 100 pages in. I started it the night before me and my friends were supposed to go see the movie. So of course I didn't finish it. I still do want to read it because I've heard that there are differences between the movie and the book, and I've just read all the Hunger Games books and I want to read this one. Yeah, the movie was fantastic. I thought once I saw the movie I would kind of lose my motivation to read the book, but the movie was just so good that I'm like, oh, the book has to be amazing. So I'm gonna work my way through this, but unfortunately I didn't get to it this month, or didn't finish it this month, and didn't finish it before I watched the movie. And something about this book is all of the Hunger Games books are like 300 something pages. Like the most is like 400 something pages. I don't think it reaches 500. Maybe I'm mistaken, but this one just over 500 pages. And so I think it kind of intimidates me, not because I don't read big books, but because it's such a big Hunger Games book and all the others have been much shorter. I don't know, but I am still really excited. Speaking of big books, I've been reading this one for a while. This is the third in a series. I read the first one. It took me a little bit and then I flew through it. The second one I didn't get to right away, but once I started it, I finished it like that. And then I immediately ran to get this one, and I've been taking this one kind of slow and taking it all in. It is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the third in the Blood and Ash series, and it's a big boy. It is a brick of a book. 645 pages. I'm halfway through, I think. I'm on 342. Oh yeah, I'm definitely halfway through, or a little over halfway through. Right there. Yes, I dog-eared my pages. This is really good so far. This series, it's something that I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. I don't think everybody would like it. I still am not convinced that I know what is really going on in this book. I do understand there's just a lot of there's a lot of lore and exposition, a lot of creatures, and you find out certain things about them, like certain things that pertain to them or how they were made, but then you find out some of those things are lies, or people have different ideas of how things came to be. And then our main girl is kind of I'm not going to spoil anything, but she's just breaking a bunch of molds. She's a one-of-a-kind thing, so the rules don't really apply to her. I don't know. It's a lot. I'm fairly certain that Jennifer L. Armentrout is coming out with a, what's the word? Not an addendum. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen, but she's coming out with something that I think is, going to conducively explain the first two books, or the first book, something like that. I wouldn't say this is a 5-star series for me or anything, but it is endlessly entertaining. The love interest, this is a little tiny baby spoiler, but the love interest and the main girl are together by this point, but I'm still not bored. I'm still loving them. I will say this series is very spicy, and pretty explicitly spicy. It's nothing crazy, but it is spicy. I think the first one is probably the most spicy, maybe. It's a big series to commit to because every book is pretty much this size, but I'm excited. I do want to finish it. Obviously I'm gonna finish this one because I'm halfway through it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna want to read the next one and the next one and the next one. So working on that. The Crowd of Gilded Bones. That concludes my November wrap up and my currently reading. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Bookmas. So for Bookmas, I'm going to have some like sit down type videos. I'm going to have some vlogs. My birthday is coming up, so I'm going to have a birthday vlog and like my book haul for that. It should be fun. I'm going to try my very best to keep up and post when I need to post. I'm going to be like an editing machine these next couple weeks, but I'm very excited. If you want to keep up with me on this, subscribe so you can watch all 12 days of Bookmas. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your favorite book that you read in November. And other than that, I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of Bookmas.